Yeah, good morning. So today we are going to continue from verse 22 of the Srimad Bhagavatam. But before that, to give you a small understanding of what has transpired till just now, Narada is telling Sri Vedvyas that you are the personality of God. Basically, you are Krishna yourself. You are Sri Krishna yourself. Your job is to write beautiful stuff, to give the Vedas to the world, to separate them out. Then your job is also to give the story of Mahabharata so that people in this world will be able to read it and see it and hear it. So this is somebody's audio is on, please. Yeah. So your job is that. So can you give the world whatever you have come to give? Then Vedvyas, after writing these two things, he becomes very despondent. He doesn't know what he's supposed to do. See, when you do something, you feel very happy. Okay, let us say you are making, now there is Christmas time, right around the corner. So people have to create Christmas sweets, okay, Christmas cakes, right? Now you are making all those things. Then all the cookies, or they call them cookies, US, but in India we call different kinds of, biscuits and stuff like that. So there is something they call rose cookie, something they call khalkals. In India, we have a lot of stuff which they make, especially the Christians. Now, once you have finished that making, are you happy? You're just waiting for the function to carry on, like you are waiting for Christmas to happen. And once it is happened, finished, what happens to you? You feel very despondent. You don't know what you are doing now. After this, now what to do? After Thanksgiving, what to do? Everybody has gone back home. You're sitting over there on the table over there near the chair and you are wondering, now Thanksgiving is over. What am I supposed to do now? Likewise, Christmas is over. What am I supposed to do now? Similarly, New Year will come. Till the New Year is coming, it's coming, you are going to be very raring to do. I want to do this, I want to do that. You will make all resolutions and stuff like that. New Year comes and goes. It's gone, finished. Friday, you are waiting for Saturday and Sunday to come. You are waiting, okay, weekend. I'm happy weekend is there. I am going on leave. Come Monday, what happens? You don't feel like, getting up also. You feel, oh my God, this is useless. This life is useless. I have to go back to work. That is called despondency. So what Vedvyas goes through is called despondency. It is an after effect of doing something. So Narada tells him, see, you are supposed to not bother about this. When can you not do something better in which will give you happiness? So you have to do something which will make you happy. Since you are a devotee, why don't you write on devotion? Why don't you tell the world the stories of devotion? Because you are Krishna yourself. You are an avatar. And because you are an avatar, it is extremely important that you tell your own stories, isn't it? So that is the reason why Narada is telling Vedvyas, tell the stories that are there. So we had completed till verse 21. Now today we are going to start verse 22 onwards. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, verse 22. Learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, namely austerity, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of hymns and charity, culminates in the transcendental description of the Lord who is defined in choice poetry. So here authentication is required. See, normally when something is being put up, now let us say you're putting up a product or a service in the material world. Do you need validation? See, without validation of your product or services, can you become successful? Somebody has to use it. Somebody has to know it. Yes, this is a good product. Somebody will validate it for you. Likewise, in the same way, if you are a public speaker, like you want to go and do public speaking. Now, before you do public speaking, will anybody call you for public speaking when you are a raw person, when nobody knows who you are? So you might have given some kind of speeches somewhere. So then they will call you, right? Then they will say, see, you gave a speech in this particular society. I would like you to come and give us a small speech. And that is validation is important. Likewise, in the material world, our life is also to be validated. Every time when you have to say something, you will always, punctuate it with a sentence that, oh, when I was a child, I used to do this kind of a thing. Do you say this? Many a times you will validate your sentences. So here also, the scriptures, which Vedvyas is supposed to write on, everything has to be validated first. Understood? So who are the validators? The validators are learned circles. So there are lots of people in the world who are going to validate it. They are the known gurus, masters, or whatever. So they are going to say, yes, this is right. Got it or no? So there are others in the world who are going to say this is the right methodology. So what is it that these people have validated? They have positively concluded. That means they have given a conclusion that the purpose of advancement of knowledge, that means if you want your knowledge to be advanced, if you want your knowledge to grow in this world, there are certain things that are required to be done. What are those things? For knowing something, you got to be heads down in that subject. Is that clear? So suppose you want to become an athlete. What are you supposed to do? Every day you are supposed to run. Is that correct or no? Now, most of the places, they have the marathons. And in the marathon, you are supposed to train for that 1 year, 2 years or whatever. Then only you can run the marathon. Is that clear or no? Or just one day you decide, okay, tomorrow there is marathon, I will run for it. You are not going to succeed anyway. So it has to be done very, very sincerely with austerity. What is this austerity? We are very focused in doing some activity. Now, I need running shoes for doing the marathon. Is that clear? Or can I use my daily office wear? I can't do that. I need running shoes, I need jackets, I need all the equipment that I need. Then only I can run properly. Right? See, this is an example I'm taking. Likewise, in the spiritual world also, if you want to grow in the spiritual world, first the knowledge is important. There are 3 things that are required for gaining knowledge in the spiritual world. First is you need a human birth, which you are qualified in. Are you qualified? You are a human being. So you are qualified in the first one. Second one is called you have to meet your master or guru who is going to teach you. Even a marathoner has to meet his guru, isn't it? His master who is going to train him in that. A cricketer will also need a trainer. Would you agree with me? Suppose you want to join an IAS examination or you want to do your CAT, or some kind of a big studies. You want to become a particular person from a particular place, a chairman of a society or whatever. Do you need somebody to guide you to that place? So the guide is required, which is the teacher or guru in this case. And the third one is called the grace of God. See, without the grace of God, nothing is going to come to you. If you do not have the grace, you may find a guru. You may have a human birth. Nothing will enter you. Nothing will enter you. It's a very peculiar thing. No knowledge enters a person. Why? Because they are not the devotee of God. They are going there because they want something, not because they are devotion. So, study of the Vedas, that means the scriptures have to be studied. Sacrifices have to be done. Chantings have to be done. And charity has to be done. When you do all these things, then only you are qualified. See, simply see austerity, the way in which you do it. Now, if, like I said, you want to become an athlete or something like that, or you want to, let us say, you want to write a book. Do you know how to write a book? No. So first you have to learn how to write. You may say, I have written so many things from my childhood. No, those are invalid today. Writing a book or something is extremely important. It is like simple in today's day and age. We all have ChatGPT, correct? So every person who has heard of ChatGPT, yeah, I know how to do ChatGPT. It is like Google, it is like I go and ask questions and I will get my answers. You need to train for that. So you need to learn prompts. When you learn the prompts, then your knowledge which is given by this ChatGPT is going to be far, far superior. So learning how to do that is very important. Agreed? And it has to be done in a systematic manner. You can't be doing whichever way you feel like. In the same manner, if you want to start any business also, you have to do everything in a systematic manner. So that system is important. Second one is called knowledge. First is the discipline and the system. Second one is called the knowledge. The knowledge is important. If you do not have the knowledge, which is what in this case in spiritual world, it is called the knowledge of the Vedas. Knowledge. Okay. Third one is called sacrifice. What is the meaning of the word sacrifice? Which means very simply this. Now in your case, I will say sacrifice simply means putting X number of hours in that job. So suppose you want to learn something. You have to sit 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours every day so that you learn that particular technique. Is that correct or wrong? So even in your job, even anything that you do, after making 10,000 biryanis only, you can say, I am an expert in biryani. Before 10,000, you can't say you are an expert. Got the point? People think that they become expert. Now 20-year-old and 21-year-olds are saying, oh, I know how to make $1 million. Are they an expert? They are greenhorns. They don't understand anything. So if you are going to take a training from a 20-year-old who has never seen losses in life, how will you understand that that person is right? He doesn't know how to lose also, isn't it? So a person should know how to lose, win, everything. The person should know nitty-gritties of everything. And that is the reason why sacrifice is important. What is the meaning of the word sacrifice? Sacrifice is following a system in a particular manner and going after it literally. All right? Chanting of hymns. Repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again. Why? Just doing it once is not enough. You have to keep on repeating 100 times, 20, 200 times, 500 times, 1,000 times. Then only you will understand the nitty-gritty of everything. So in the same way, this is mentioned over here. And charity. Don't do it because I want to earn something. Don't do anything for that purpose. Without charity, you won't get anything. You have to do it free. You have to do that thing free first. You cannot take money for it. You cannot take remuneration for anything. First, you got to give. Giving is important. So charity is important. It culminates into the transcendental description of the Lord. So all these steps are required so that you get to meet the Lord. And then it can be defined in a choice poetry. Then you can write your prose or poetry or whatever you want to. Got it? The answer is systematic approach towards everything. We'll move to the next verse. O Muni, in the last millennium, I was born as the son of a certain maid servant, engaged in the service of Brahmanas who were following the principles of Vedanta. When they were living together during the 4 months of the rainy season, I was engaged in their personal service. Now, this is a thing which is done mostly by the people who are experts or those who are spiritualists. There is a Chaumas, 4 months, 4 months, Chaumasa they call it. They take off and they stay in a holy place. They don't go away from there. So what they will do is they will pack their bags and everything and they will go and stay during these 4 months in this one particular location. So it could be an ashram, it could be a holy place, or it could be anything. So where there is a congregation of holy people, people come and stay there. Okay. Now, this is an important activity done. Today also many people do it. You may not know it because you people are urban people. You are from a city, a state, a big town or something like that. That is why you may not know. But there are places in India where for these 4 months, okay, during the time of rainy season, they will go and stay in this holy place over there. In ancient times, this was a practice. So Narada, who was born, see what happens over here is Narada is cursed by his own father. So I will give you the story. Narada was one day talking to his father and he insulted his own father. So who is his father? Brahmaji, correct? So he insults Brahmaji and he calls him name. He says, what kind of a father are you? You are not worthy of being a father. See, you are not supposed to speak ill about your father. Come whatever may. He may be the worst person on earth also. He may be a drunkard. He may be a womanizer. He can be a murderer also. Your job is not to call him names or say anything like that. But Narada does it. So his father curses him and says, you are going to be born as the poorest of the poor family in a lower womb. As a human being, you will be born. Not one birth, many births. So Narada has to take a human birth. So Narada is born to a lady. She was a maid servant from the lowest caste. Imagine that. And this maid servant was employed by these ashram people. Okay. So these ashram people were there. They had employed this woman. Now, he was a small fellow over there. So he would be helping his mother in all the work. Whatever work that was going on, he was helping. Now this was a guru's ashram. All right. So understand how this is working. So Narada was born to this lady who was a maid servant of these gurus. So there was a big ashram and there was these gurus and she was serving them. Doing all the menial work over there, sweeping the place, doing this, doing that, all those kind of things. Now, during this 4 months, Narada, as a child, as young man, he stays with these people, doing the work over there. He was doing personal service. So if they said, do this, he will do. Get this, they will get. Get water, they will get. Like that kind of a thing. Although they were impartial by nature, those followers of the Vedanta blessed me with their causeless mercy. As far as I was concerned, I was self-controlled and I had no attachments for sports, even though I was a boy. In addition, I was not naughty and I did not speak more than required. See, this is an important thing which you should know. In the world of spiritual, if you want to become a spiritual person, your focus should be single pointed of trying to become a spiritual person. But if you want to become a material worldly person, then you are gone, finished. So then your austerities are not going to be there. See, we just now read, no? Austerity is number one. Huh? So austerity is not going to be there. You are going to be involved in many activities. So here, Narada was not involved in any activity. And most important of all, he was not involved in any physical activity. See, normally as a young person, you go to the gym and do all kinds of things, you know. You want muscle building, this, that, so many things. So here he says, I was not involved in any sport. No sport. So basically, he was devoid of all these kind of physical activity. He was a thin person. And he was only interested in doing the regular kind of jobs which were given to him. Do this, do this, do this, get water, all those kind of things. And he had no attachment of any sport. And as a young boy, he was very focused. He was not naughty like other children. Other children are very naughty, you know, they will always keep on doing something or the other. He was not. He was a very studious kind of a person and he was doing the job and he did not speak much. Children are too talkative sometimes. They keep on talking, jabbering, 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 jabbering. See, you have to keep your mouth shut for your brain to take more matter. You have to understand that. The more you speak, the less knowledge enters you. So, once only by their permission, I took the remnants of the food, and by doing so, all my sins were at once eradicated. Thus, being engaged, I became purified in heart, and at that time, the very nature of the transcendentalist became attractive to me. Now, this is something which happens to people. The leavings of the food. When the guru eats the food, whatever is left behind in the plate is called the prasad. Okay? And that is the highest food in this whole world. It is purity. Okay? Many years ago, there used to be a Guru Purnima where it was I used to stay in Halsut. I would sit with my thali over there to eat. And these people would sit literally around me waiting for me to finish. I said, come on, don't sit on my head. You don't sit on my head and don't see what I'm eating, okay? You go away from here. No, Guruji. We want your prasad. And they will ensure that something they will take. So this is called the leavings of the food. It's a most precious and pure form of prasad in the world. So here Narada is saying that one day with their permission, see, you cannot touch their plate. Please understand. Everybody, anybody and everybody can't touch the plate of the Guru. It is like we call it nirmalya or we call it absolute purity. Okay. We can't have people coming and touching the food. Anybody cannot serve it and other people cannot touch it. You'll find that people, you know, when they make the whatever the food that is there, they'll be very dirty while serving. No, the Guru's food has to be served in a specific manner and it has to be served by a person who is highly pure. And the plate also has to be independent of all the other plates, and the whatever that is served to other people should not be used. So this is a system. It is like how you offer God. when you offer Naivedya, it is called Naivedya. When you offer Naivedya to God, you cannot offer it in your, get the plate which is there in the kitchen. You can't get the plate that is there in the kitchen. In the same way, when you are doing your puja at home, don't use a thali or a plate which you are using for your regular activity. Okay? So if you are using your thalis which are meant for your regular food and all those things, you are not going to, get that benefit of it. So you have to have separate, thali for serving. And that is exclusively for the Naivedya. Okay? After the puja is done, when you do it to God, and here the puja of the Guru has to be given the food. That whatever is left behind, remember when we do the puja and we keep that thali in front, and after the puja is over, after some time we say God has eaten, and then we take it and distribute it as prasad. Exactly like that, the Guru's plate is used by people. It is offered, little food as is offered, whatever is left behind. It could be 1 grain also, doesn't matter. That 1 grain also is offered as a prasad. Okay, and that prasad is literally the highest purifying thing in the world. So he says, by taking these remnants of the food, all my sins were removed. Now you may say, okay, tomorrow onwards I will also do the same thing. All my sins will go away. After that I will become pure. No. Narada is already the highest, no? So he has undergone all this as a sage. Now he is taken birth as a human being for certain purpose. There is a purpose in his birth. The purpose is to write poetry. Remember that. He is supposed to write poetry for Narayana, 1 crore of them. Not 1 and 2, 1 crore. That is why he keeps on taking multiple births. So he was cursed for that reason. So there is a story behind all these things. So when he took the remnants of the food, he was purified. And then his heart became absolutely pure. And that means Narada started getting attracted towards the devotional path. So he became a devotee of God. Here there is a very strange thing. Remember, he was with Vedantists. Vedantists are not devotees. They have different way of reaching God. But what is the path of Narada? 100% devotion. So because he has got this ability of devotion, even though living with a Vedantist, he becomes a devotee of God. Just with their blessing. What is the blessing? He takes the remnants of their food. So, O Vyasdeva, in that association and by the mercy of those great Vedantists, I could hear them describe the attractive activities of Lord Krishna, and thus listening attentively, my taste of hearing about Krishna increased in every step. So when these people were talking to each other, the disciple and the Guru in that ashram, they were talking to each other. The Guru was teaching these disciples, and all those words were falling on the ears of Narada. And when the words were falling on Narada's ears, he was able to understand everything. Please understand this. When you are the highest Lord yourself, or when you are the highest devotee yourself in the heavens, and you have come to earth as a human being, you don't need that knowledge of somebody teaching you something. Already the knowledge is there. You just need the trigger. The trigger comes and you come to know everything literally. Got it or no? So that knowledge is just like one instance. It's like one atom bomb and there is one, this thing, and you light it, the fuse. You just need the fuse lighting. What is the fuse lighting happening in his case? By taking the remnants of the food. That is all the fuse that was required for Narada to get into this state of being. So he says, I was able to understand everything these people were talking amongst each other. O great sage, that is, this is verse 27. O great sage, as soon as I got the taste of Sri Krishna's, my attention to hear about him was unflinching. And as my taste developed, I could realize that it was only in my ignorance that I had accepted gross and subtle coverings for both the Lord and I am transcendental. That means here he understands very clearly. What does he understand over here very clearly? What Narada understands is, because remember, the trigger happened. What was the trigger? The trigger is he took the remnants of the food, the prasada, from the plate of this guru. So guru, whatever the plate of the guru was there, he ate it with his permission. Can I have it? After that, the trigger set off. Inside him, the devotion came up. So devotion became Jagrat inside. So he became a devotee of God, Sri Krishna, because they were discussing about Sri Krishna quite a lot. So the devotion to Krishna came up. Remember, every time when Narada is there in this world, what is the first word that he says? He says Narayana and Narayana, isn't it? The one word he keeps on saying is Narayana. So he talks about Narayana. Now, who is the highest devotee of Sri Krishna? Him only. Narada is the highest devotee of Sri Krishna. And whatever he has taught us about devotion, he has taught about it in the Bhakti Sutra. That is a very important scripture. We have to read it. Then the second book which he has said is, there is Pancharatra that is there. Pancharatra is a very interesting book, but that can't be taught to everybody because it's a tantric text. Now that was given, this knowledge was given about Sri Krishna to Shivji. Shivji asks him, can you please tell me about Sri Krishna? And Narada tells him. And this particular thing is what I have also given you all. The mantra associated to Sri Krishna was given to you all. And this mantra was passed on by Sri Narada to Shivji, who Narada tells Shivji, this is the mantra you should be practicing. And that is why it is called Narada Pancharatra. So this is very important scripture. But it is very, very different kind of scripture. That's why nobody can do that particular scripture. It's not advisable for normal human beings to do that scripture. Okay? There are certain scriptures a person should not even bother doing. Because till you do not have the permission of the guru, you should not even go there in that direction. So, he says, as soon as I got this taste, Narada says, as soon as I understood about Sri Krishna, what happened to me? I started loving whatever that was happening. That means every time when a bhajan was sung or every time something was happening about Sri Krishna, I would be completely lost in devotion to him. So Sri Krishna's name itself triggers this thing in him, the highest of the devotion. And that is why he keeps on saying the name of Narayana. Narayana is nothing but Sri Krishna only. Okay, it's manifest, unmanifest form. It is beyond the, it's called beyond the manifest. Narayana is that fluid form. Okay, so he takes that name of this form constantly. All right, and it was this knowledge came to him. And my attention to hear the Lord was unflinching. I want to hear his name constantly. Constant hearing of this name. And as my taste develops, see, normally you asked me a question, somebody asked me a question, how does this thing continue? You see, you have to develop the taste for it. It is like when you are taking a drink, you know, all those soft drinks are there or hard drinks are there and all. Some people love certain drink, isn't it? Some people who are very favorite for them is Coca-Cola is a very favorite drink. You give them some other drink, they will not drink. They will drink only Coke. Got the point or no? Like that, in the same manner, you will find that even James Bond has got it not stirred or something like that. He says, not shaken but stirred, and he has got a particular thing. So that is called an addiction. Basically, it becomes a taste. You get into that taste. All right, and one day somebody. This was a very funny incident. So now for me, pizza means Pizza Hut. Okay. So I only know Pizza Hut because we are Indians. Normally, we don't know anything about all these Italian food and all that. So what is the thing that we know about is Pizza Hut. So one day Rajma said, I will give you the best pizza in town. Okay. And it is that Italian pizza, something, something. And she took me to one restaurant, very fancy restaurant, and she said, and ordered the pizza. That must have been costing a bomb. And the pizza came in front of me. First, I looked at it and I said, is this pizza or is this chapati? Because it was so thin, it is called thin crust. I had no idea there is something called thin crust. Okay, so when the pizza came in front of me, I said, where is the cheese in it? I want this fat layer of cheese in it. It's not there. What to do? The pizza also has to be fat. That also is not there. I ate one piece and I felt, this doesn't seem like pizza to me from any angle. And I gave up on that. Well, you have to understand, when you develop a taste for something different, the other things don't matter to you. Got the point? So always it is like this. And how do you have the taste for it? So in spiritual also, the moment you hear the name Krishna somewhere, the ears will perk up. You will immediately get dragged in that direction. That is what is the speciality of this devotion. And he says, I don't know why this gross body came to me. Gross body with the subtle coverings came to me. Remember, it took him many years to come to this. Agreed? He was a small boy. From there onwards, he grew up and then he took the leavings. It was many years afterwards. It's not happening on day one. So he says, I had to take up this human body. He said, I had accepted gross and subtle coverings. And now I understood, I am the divine person. I am not an ordinary person at all. So this knowledge comes to him just because of all that happened. Thus, during 2 seasons, the rainy and the autumn, I had the opportunity to hear these great soul sages chant the unadulterated glory of Lord Hari. As the flow of my devotional service began, the coverings of the modes of passion and ignorance vanished. So what happens? Narada is serving this guru in his ashram. Okay. And when he is serving the gurus in his ashram and the guru is teaching his disciples all this beautiful stuff about the spiritual, Narada is hearing all these things. And when he is hearing all these great people talk about the divine, even the students, they will also get together and talk only one thing. They will speak only of Hari, Hari, Hari. Hari means Sri Krishna himself. Okay. That is his name. So they will all speak of Hari. So what happens to Narada over here? So as the devotional services started coming up, see over here, during the 2 seasons, rainy season and autumn. Remember, he had come for the 4 months, Chaumasa. Okay, Chaumasa is during the rainy season. 4 months are over, but he continues to stay over there during the next season also. All right. So the next season continues and then the next season continues. So he was there quite a lot of time and he was only hearing the name of Sri Krishna constantly. And because he was hearing the name of Sri Krishna constantly, what happened to him? All that Kshatripus that were there, remember his father had cursed him to become an average human being. All that started going away. Modes of passion. What are the modes of passion? Rajaguna. The Rajas gun which came to him, I am Narada, I am this, I am that. That went away from him. And the mode of ignorance, the Tamoguna went away from him. And then what remained? Only the Sattva guna left in him. He became pure after that. was very much attracted to those sages. It was I was gentle in behavior and all my sins were eradicated in their service. In my heart, I had strong faith in them. I had subjugated the senses and I was strictly following them with body and mind. So what does he do? He stays with these sages. And when he stays with these sages, everything, all the Shadripus from him is wiped clean. Remember, first thing that wiped him clean was the leavings of the Guru. That means whatever food that he ate as prasada. After that, what happened? After that, he listened to all the good words of the Lord. And that started ringing in him. And he became purer and purer and purer day by day. And his behavior changed. From being a nasty person, from being an average human being, he became a pure person. His behavior became very, very good. He became calm, composed, peace, kindness, charity, everything came to him. All the good qualities started coming in. There is no anger left in that person. All the Kshatripus are wiped clean. Just being in the company of the sages is what happens to the person. And after listening to the words of God, all my sins were eradicated in their service. In my heart, I had strong faith in him. See, first and foremost, you got to develop the faith. And then all my senses were subjugated. That means I no longer involved myself in any sensual activity. All my senses, my eyes were only seeing God. My ears were only hearing God. I was only smelling the dear Lord's perfumes. All those kind of things start happening to the person. And he becomes a pure human being. I was strictly following them with the body and the mind. Body and the mind was following these great gurus. As they were leaving, those Bhakti Vedantas who are very kind to poor hearted souls instructed me in the most confidential subject, which is instructed by Sri Krishna himself. So now is the time when these sages start moving. So when they were moving from their ashram, see, during the season, they will be staying in this one place, and after that they will start moving all over. So when they were going away, what did these gurus teach him? They taught Narada. They gave him the most confidential information about God. This information is very, very sacred. It is normally not given to an average person. See, what happens is, when you are in the primary stages, you will be only told some things which are like this, like some of the scriptures will be revealed to you. But the in-depth knowledge will never be given. Because till you do not qualify for it, how can the in-depth knowledge be given? That's a PhD level studies, no? Can you give it to a kindergarten student? You can't. To a kindergarten student, the first thing is he has to follow certain instructions, become disciplined, learn their ABCD, learn the, all those letters and all this. That is important. Like that. So when he was leaving, the gurus were going from there. They taught him this secret substance about the dear Lord. And they were instructing him about Sri Krishna himself. So we have come to the end of verse 30. We will stop over here.